What happened on Twitter, Captain? I accidentally set the FF side of Twitter on fire again, except this time it was intentional. If any other company released that game and it wasn't called Final Fantasy, that game would have bombed and it would have destroyed that company. A lot of modern FF fans have no issue throwing their hat in this arena, that they go 100% into their specific genre. So basically, in light of all the news going around, Square laying off a lot of employees, them wanting to make more money, FF7 Rebirth not selling well, FF16 not selling well, and honestly, I will also say one last thing. FF15, a game like that will never sell well ever again, okay? The reason that game sold at all is because, one, it was the first FF for the PS4, two, huge, enormous marketing campaign, including Kingsglaive and whatever. 3, it wasn't FF13. 4, it wasn't Stormblood. And from the trailer, it fooled people. It looks like it might be good again. To the point where it was quite a common story that many people pre-ordered the deluxe edition, like me and one of my friends here. In fact, you probably did the exact same thing too.
I do not like the cone of shame.
And then you played it, thinking it was all, thinking we are so back. And then a few hours in, that dreadful sneaking realization creeps up on you. Wait a minute. This is shit. FF15 pulled a trick that can only be pulled once. Alright, there's a reason 16 sold really shit. If any other company released that game and it wasn't called Final Fantasy, that game would have bombed and it would have destroyed that company. Yes, it sold a lot, but this is a trick you can only pull once. It won't work again. A lot of modern FF fans have no issue throwing their hat in this arena, saying what their opinion is, what they think, you know, is good or bad, and so on and so forth. And they treat their opinion like fact. All right. Okay, so everything they accuse me of, they basically do themselves. Okay. However, I'm going to give my reasoning for why I think the things I do. And basically, I just wrote, I added Square and I said, Dear Square Enix, if you want Final Fantasy games to sell more again, you need to focus on the original fan base. Think FF4 to 10, not the modern fans, all right? Because modern FF fans will excuse sluggish pacing, like what we saw with FF16, FF14, Rebirth. Modern fans will excuse the worst story pacing ever. OG fans and normal people do not excuse that, all right? We don't have time to have Clive go and buy garlic, okay? And in FF16, you could have deleted the entire desert segment and absolutely nothing of value would have been lost. Nothing. Those of you who played it probably don't even remember what you do in that area. No one does. Modern fans will also excuse tone-deaf cringe. And by that, I mean like Prompto from FF15.
Oh, hi there, opening. We're in the money. We're in the money. I just want to ride my chocobo all day. Stairs, they go on. Forever they go on.
On and on and on. Okay, that kind of stupid musical theater kid shut the fuck up cringe, all right? That, they excuse that. They also excuse the brutal, relentless cringe of FF7 Rebirth. It's like merciless there.
Because the more tears I shed, the better I get in Queen's blood.
And anyone who says that the Golden Age Final Fantasies had that cringe as well, no, they didn't. They had whimsical charm, all right? They had charm that you could say it was cute, you could say it was amusing or funny, but it was not cringe. The first great cringe moment in the history of Final Fantasy was the Tidus laugh in FF10, all right? And while 10 is a great game and it's the last great Final Fantasy, that scene sucks balls, okay? Yes, I understand it. It's possible to understand the scene and still think it sucks. Now, Tidus laugh defenders do not understand this. They think if you understand the scene, you have to like it, all right? That's literally how their brains are wired, because that scene is a literal mind virus that rewires their brain programming, okay? They cannot understand it. They can't understand that some people, that people know what the context of the scene is and can still think it sucks balls. The tone-deaf cringe doesn't help. And I would say the cringe, FF16 is cringe for different reasons. It's cringe because the swearing is hello fellow kids, all right? This is not swearing like Tarantino or Scorsese.
You cock.
Fuck.
The swearing in FF16 feels like, bet you thought Final Fantasy wasn't cool, huh? Well, check this out. He just said fuck.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
How do you do, fellow kids?
That's badass. You know what I mean? It's just not, it's not well used. It's just amateur. It's fan fiction swearing for the most part. There's a few good swears. I would say the best swears in FF16 are like a couple of NPCs. There's like a guard who's like, we're not taking any more refugees, so fuck off. All right, he sounded good. And there's another one who I think he's trying to rally his men because if they don't, Titan's gonna kill them all. And he's like, get it done now, or we're all fucking dead. All right, those two non-main characters made it sound fine. Modern fans will also excuse mid-tier action combat. Yes, this is a controversial take, all right, but it's also true, okay? FF15's combat, I wouldn't even say is mid-tier, all right? It's dog shit. Hold down circle, and Noctis will just spam combos. Are you for real? This is rubbish. They could have just copy-pasted Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2 into 15 and just reskinned it, and that would have been better than what they did with 15. Anyone who says 15's combat is good, you have not played other games, all right? It's rubbish, okay? It's shit. Kingdom Hearts is better combat. Dark Souls is better combat. As for FF16, any Devil May Cry fan will tell you it's insulting to compare 16 to Devil May Cry, right? It's like a shallow version of it. It's cutscene simulator, all right? And Devil May Cry's combat slaughters that. Dark Souls combat slaughters 16. 7 Remake Rebirth. Here's the thing. I actually think 7 Remake Rebirth's combat is better than 15 and 16. I had more fun with it. I enjoyed playing as Barret, Tifa, Cloud. Cat Sith was fun when he stayed on his giant fucking Moogle. Cat Sith should never be off as a Moogle, by the way. All right? It's stupid when he's just by himself as a cat. If I were to straw man FF7 Rebirth's combat, all right? If I were to do to it what its defenders do to me and other games, all right, I would say that it plays like Dynasty Warriors with a $200 million budget. Sorry, 300 million. And you fight against FF14 raid bosses. All right? Okay? That's me straw manning it. All right. And you know what? It's also true. These bosses in FF7 Rebirth are just basically FF14 raid bosses. Big arena with boss just hovering on the edge. Here come the lines. Don't stand in the lines. Okay. Boom. Here come the circles. Don't stand in the circles. Boom. Minus 50 DKP to Yuffie. These are MMO raid mechanics, except you play like a Dynasty Warriors character who has bullet time ATB slapped onto it. I don't think it's that amazing. Here's the thing. I still had fun, a bit of fun with the combat, but I don't think it's this revolutionary, amazing new thing. That game is carried entirely by the nostalgia for FF7. If you made a game with that combat and it wasn't FF7, it just wouldn't do nearly as well. So, the padding was appalling. Yeah, well, that's what I mean when I say sluggish pacing. Lastly, yeah, MMO modern fans will excuse MMO design in a single-player game, and I just listed it all right there. Same with all the side quests in FF7 Rebirth. You know, talk to NPC. They cycle through the usual like FF14 body language things, hands on hips, crossed arms. Then you go off, kill 15 slimes, escort a cat back, and then they sing you a song.
I've dreamed of opening my home.
All right, it's MMO design. It's not that great. Modern fans will excuse all this. Not only will they excuse this, but they will insult and attack you for criticizing these this poor game design. Okay, this poor craftsmanship. Okay, now old school FF fans and normal gamers do not excuse those things, and they don't have patience for them. That's why they don't buy them. All right, that's why sales are down. Modern Final Fantasy fans have only one standard. All right, that the game is called Final Fantasy. If you call your game Final Fantasy, modern fans will buy it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do to get these people to buy it. Just call it FF. All right? These people have read the Leslie novella. Look at this. Modern fans read shit like this. Final Fantasy VII. The Kids Are Alright, a Turk's side story about Leslie, Don Corneo's doorman in FF7 Remake, leading up to the events of Advent Children. Okay, that's where Leslie is from. You ever wonder where Don Corneo's Doorman and Remake comes from? That's him. The modern fans will read this, and then if you haven't read it, they'll say that you're a fake fan. Modern fans will say turn-based combat is dead, all right? But if FF17 was turn-based, they'll buy it in 1 second, okay? They'll buy it on launch, and then when it's out on PC, they'll buy it again a year later, all right? And they would have done the same for 15, 16, and 7R, all right? If all these games were turn-based, they would fucking buy them anyway. You know why? Because it's Final Fantasy, okay? And if they don't buy it, then they're not a real fan. There you go. And here's the thing, because all these people then went on and bought Expedition 33. They also bought every other turn-based game in existence. They bought Persona, they bought Metaphor, they bought Bravely Default, they bought Octopath Traveler, and they bought Dragon Quest. All right? If Final Fantasy was turn-based, they would buy it too. Okay? They would fucking buy it in 1 second, and they'll buy it twice. Once on console, and then a year later on PC, so they can mod bigger boobs for Tifa. And you know what? You were right. Okay? Understood. If you make Final Fantasy for the OG fans, okay, then the OG fans will buy it, right? Modern fans will buy it because they'll buy anything. And normal gamers will buy it too. That's the main thing. You don't just get double this, you get triple, okay? Because normal gamers don't want a game that's made for everyone, okay? They want a game that understands its core audience and hyper specializes into that. This normal audience, right? What are the games that they play, okay? Subnautica, Vampire Survivors, Last of Us 1, God of War 4, Nier Automata, okay? FF10, OG FF7, Chrono Trigger, Cult of the Lamb, Among Us, E33, so on and so forth, all right? What do these games have in common? Fucking nothing, okay? Balatro, they have nothing in common, except that they go 100% into their specific genre.
Never half-ass two things. Whole ass one thing.
They know their audience and they go all the way in. They're not trying to be for everyone. Modern Final Fantasy is trying to be literally everything. You know what I mean? Like, instead of making Sid and Vincent playable in Rebirth, they're making like 100 boring side quests with 200 boring new characters. They're doing Queen's Blood. Who fucking cares? If you could choose between having Queen's Blood in the game or having Vincent be playable, what are you going to choose?
Round one, fight!
What are you going to choose? Be fucking honest. We all know the answer. It's 100% on Vincent. Okay. FF15, all right? I mean, my God, that game came out completely unfinished. What would you want, okay? FF15 to be finished on launch or for it to have a fishing game? A fishing game. Where you don't even catch Final Fantasy fish. You catch fish that exist in real life. You know what other games do that? Every other fishing game in fucking existence. If you're gonna do an FF fishing game, catch Final Fantasy fish. It's stupid. It's all dumb. You can't make a Final Fantasy that will satisfy both new fans and old, all right? They're too different. They are the polar opposite in almost every way. That is like trying to make a food that will be loved by both vegans and carnivores, all right? It cannot be done. You can't do this. Final Fantasy 4 to 10 is one of the best 10-year winning streaks in video game history. And it's insane that that was only a 10-year span. That's actually nuts. Like, really think about that. The first great FF was 4, and the last great FF was 10. That was 91 to 2001. That's fucking unreal. These games weren't always perfect. All right, you know, 8's not perfect, but even 8, which people can argue is the worst of that series, they are still timeless classics. They still have mainstream appeal. Modern Final Fantasy is neither of those things. Just go on bloody Twitch, man. Go on bloody Twitch. People are still streaming and playing and making YouTube videos of their first playthrough of FF10. FF8, FF9, FF6, FF7. You know what they're not streaming? FF15, FF12. 13, all right, 16. I bet you right now, I might be wrong, but every time I look at OG FF7 on Twitch and I look at Remake, Rebirth, OG FF7 has more viewers and more people streaming it. The original, the golden age of FF are timeless classics. They are must-plays, they have mainstream appeal, and they still continue to sell to this day. They will always be relevant. Modern FF, at best, can sell a lot on launch hype, and then be forgotten about in a month. and never sell ever again. When we talk about like E33, for example, with absolutely no advertisement other than just pure word of mouth, sold 5 million copies, it's outsold 16, it's outsold Rebirth, and it's not going to stop, all right? 16 will not continue to sell, okay? E33 will. That will continue to sell basically for the next decade, for all time probably, because it's one of those games. It's like The Witcher 3, the Mass Effect trilogy, Last of Us 1, God of War 4, Nier Automata, FF7, FF10, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. It's one of those games, and it always will be. Baldur's Gate 3. So, that's the difference. Like, it's not, if you think it's stopping at 5, you're wrong. You can't throw anyone at a game to director and butchered it. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Pablito. They got to find either get Sakaguchi back or get someone who can do what he did, all right? Because there are a lot of geniuses who work at Square, but they're like mad scientists, all right? You need someone to like reel them in, tell them we're not going to use all of your ideas, and then focus the best ideas they all have into one coherent whole, because they don't have that right now. Well, so as you can see, chat, that tweet I made, it's not even, God, when did I make it? It's not even 1 day old. It's 19 hours old. 95,000 views. Let's round it up to 200. 1,100 likes, 200 tweets, 350 comments. Not ratioed, so think about that. So anyway, that was my passionate discussion regarding all this. And the thing is, like, look, I'm going to give my complete honest opinion here. I think FF is dead. I think it's a dying franchise. It's been dying for like 20 years straight. And I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about just like its relevance, its artistic merits and stuff, you know? Like who the fuck tells someone to rush out and play 15 or 16, you know, or 12 or 13? Go back to turn-based, all right. And I'll tell you why, because action combat and turn-based combat move at different paces. They move at different speeds. And the speed that turn-based combat moves at is more cinematic. It's better cinematically, all right? And we all saw that happen in, well, you know, we all know the game. And get the FF14 design out of the single-player games. My God, like seriously, get that out of it, man. It's not good, okay? Keep that. It's fine in 14. It's fine. Who would have thought? MMO design is fine in an MMO, but it's not fine in a single-player game. It just doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. And you'll see a lot of modern fans actually arguing. They're doing the usual thing, all right? Well, actually, FF4 to 9 weren't actually turn-based. They were ATB. Only FF1 to 3 and 10 were turn-based. No, actually, listen. Shut your fucking face, all right? Normal gamers, normal people do not see or care about the minor insignificant difference between turn-based and ATB, all right? ATB is turn-based with one extra step, all right? If you are a normal person, you see, in all those games, you see people taking turns. It's fucking turn-based to them, all right? It's ridiculous to even suggest such a thing. No, but people are actually dying on this hill. People are dying on this hill so hard that some are arguing that FF7 Remake and Rebirth is turn-based because it has ATB. The dishonesty of some people is on literal apocalyptic levels. It is unbelievable. Look, you want to defend it, you want to like it, fine. But say what it is, man. Just say what it is. Like, my God. Like, by that logic, right, is GTA fucking turn-based? Because when it's time for you to select your weapon, it goes super slow motion when you're choosing your weapon. Is now GTA, like, ATB turn-based? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's just be honest, man. Fucking be honest. People are saying 7 Remake has a turn-based mode. Do you know what 7 Remake's turn-based mode is? Do you know what it is? The entire game plays on autopilot. Movement, blocking, dodging, attacking, the game does that all for you. It just runs around doing that. All you do is sit back and do nothing until the ATB bar is filled up. Then you choose an ATB attack. Then you sit back and you do that all again. From what I've seen, that is what classic mode is. And some people have the fucking audacity to say that that is turn-based. You gotta be out of your mind. You gotta be out of your mind. No one cares if you like these games, but be honest about them. Be honest about them. That's why I make these tweets. It's why I make these videos, because the endless gaslighting and the lies and the dishonesty, the insult throwing, the name calling and the bullying around this series is unreal. It's infuriating to watch. Do they say ATB makes it not turn-based? Because ATB is exactly the same as turn-based, but you wait for bars to fill up, they will argue that this is as different. There are people who act like ATB is a whole different genre. Like, it's as different as, like, RTS, or FPS, or Souls-like, or Cooking Mama 2, alright? They will argue it's as different as that. It's just unbelievably dishonest. It's ridiculous. ATB feels like classic. It's the same fucking thing. Look, the whole reason ATB was invented was to trick people into thinking that it was more actiony than it really is. But all it did was make turn-based worse. But I love, like, you know, FS7, 9 and all that. But when I played 10, I was like, why is this different? It's like, holy fuck, this is actually turn-based. This is crazy, man. If you do argue with people in the comments, please be civil, all right? Please be civil. They may treat you and me with zero respect, but that doesn't mean you have to be like them, all right? When arguing with modern Final Fantasy fans, don't be like them, okay? Don't let them drag you down to their level. That's all I'll say.